Hi, this is the first of 3 videos that I'll be dedicating to analyzing Beethoven's 12th Piano Sonata in A-flat major. So this first video is going to be focusing on the first movement. The next video will be focusing on the second and third movements, and the last video will be focusing on the fourth movement. So this Piano Sonata has the opus number 26. And it was dedicated to Carl von Lichnowsky, and it was composed between the years 1800 and 1801. This is famously the favorite piano sonata of Beethoven of Chopin. Now Chopin, it makes sense why he liked this sonata. It is very lyrical, and when we get to the Funeral March, we can see that Chopin gained a lot of inspiration from this sonata in his own second sonata, the Funeral March, and the third movement. Now, the first movement, interestingly, is not in sonata form. This is the first of the Beethoven sonatas, in which the first movement is not in sonata form. So it has a theme, and then 5 variations, which includes a coda. The theme is as follows: Andante, and then so on. Now you can already see that this is a very lyrical and beautiful theme. I think this is one of my favorite lyrical themes of Beethoven. So it has this, it starts with the dominant E flat with the upbeat 3/8. So it has this sort of dance-like rhythm to it, and it's very calm, but it also has this rhythmic jumpiness to it from the 3/8 and the dance style. So that balance is very nicely done. So it starts with the E flat and the upbeat A flat. So this motif, and then it rises in perfect cadence, and then so it moves to D flat, the subdominant. So that short D natural, a bit more, it sounds more a bit bright, because this can be used to modulate to E flat, but resist the temptation and then goes back to D flat, and then that's diminished 7th there. So Beethoven throws in a lot of these tasteful dissonances. Also that dissonance. Now we get the first phrase, but a bit different. It's variated. So the upbeat is, it became a dotted rhythm. So there's a bit more movement. The same up to that point, and then there's the cadence finally. So this whole phrase, (16 bars, right? 16 bars of phrase, and it's a great opening. Simple cadence, and then the next part comes in with the F sforzando. Sequence down. So that's that counterpoint. And that relates to it. And then there's this other part of it. Accompaniment, but of course it's not like normal Alberti bass. It's and then there's shape to it, and then put that together. And then this comes in the rise. So that's A natural. Now we're in E flat. And this rise, it rises and then it drops. So back to the variated version of the first theme. Now it cadences in an almost identical manner to the first half of this theme, but before it was these harmonies here. Now it's octaves, and the accompaniment is also one octave down. So there's a more broader, it's broader. Cute. Now comes the second the first variation, sorry. And it is very heavily ornamented with this motive. So that 30-second note. And then the accompaniment is quite simple. It's low register, and then that accompaniment is the same as the ending of the first theme. Now it's and then now that's repeated 16 notes motive. This is also similarly varies the theme in the first variation as it does in the original statement of the theme. The high note. So it gives this sense of variety. And then back. That left hand counterpoint is variated, and then now comes the build up. It's staggered octaves. There's more motion, and then comes the arpeggio. To that point, the variations are andante. It's slow, but from the second variation, it picks up some speed and energy. This figuration almost never changes. It's alternating between the left and right hand. And the left hand has the melody this time, and the right hand has the accompaniment. And then the left hand. And then this sort of ornamented figures. Notice how the theme is on the upbeat. So if you put that together. Sorry. Comes back with the accompaniment is more bigger, and then the left hand also. It used to be octaves, now it's harmonies. So the bass line. And then now comes the second half. That's expressive. And then the theme remains. Now that's the material from the right hand counterpoint in the and if you notice that expressive part is now transferred to the right hand. Not exactly, but it's there. So there's jumping around and it's very playful. And then build up. And then we're back. Now more notes, even more notes are added to the right hand accompaniment. And then now comes the third variation in A flat minor. This is a very heavy departure because so far it was building up from calm to a bit more playful. And then playful, energetic. Now comes this solemn. So that build up starts here and then up. And it's slowly rising, it's really. And then octaves. Sforzanti and bass. So it's really. D on the offbeat. Natural, and then E flat minor, and then back. Now comes the fourth variation, back with major. It's very playful and light. It's Beethoven writes sempre staccato, which means always disconnected, always try. And then the right hand, of course. Those resolutions, and then it's jumping around, so if you see. And then so. And then we get this. This more a bit solemn, a bit more darker. In the lower register, this half cadence, and then we get with octaves, and then the left hand is variated. So if you put that together. Basically the same motifs, but of course the different harmonic language. And then descending scale back. After this really playful light jumping around, we get the final variation. This one feels very legato, it's very, almost like waves, it's very connected. Some atmosphere. Get this one. So we get the inner melody, which is the main theme, the inner voice, and then we get the accompaniment in the left and this kind of slow trill-like figure, and then put that together. Textures, and then we get a bit more, let's say it has been a bit subtle, and then now we get a more straightforward. So we get the line on the right hand, and then we get simple uprighty bass in the left hand. Build up. that figure back again. Melody in the middle voices and then the accompaniment. So it's like waves, you know. Now if you see in the first part, the trills were a bit broken. Now it's just continuous, so there's more stuff. Now we get this codetta. So it has a very different feeling from the rest of the variation. And it almost feels like we're back to the theme in terms of this rhythmic quality. You know how in the first theme they variated it, you know, Beethoven. That constant 16th note rhythm, now it's so that kind of like cello double bass in the left hand, and then the melody. That's a new theme. For a minute, varied. So. So now we get lighter accompaniment. Dying down. Very simple. It ends in a A-flat chord. So cadence and then arpeggio down. Very simply, very quietly, nothing like Beethovenian, like fancy cadences, you know how in the Fifth Symphony there, you know, that kind of thing. No, he ends it simply, he dies down. And that is the end of the first movement. Now in the next video, as I said before, we'll be discussing the second and the third movements, the scherzo and the funeral march. The reason why I'm putting the second movement and the third movement together is because the second movement is quite short. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. Maybe you gained something out of this, I don't know. I'm just making these videos for fun, so. Well, yeah, if you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.